Hi, I'm feminasty Erin Gibson.
I'm homosexual Bryan Safi.
And this is Attitudes.
LGBT plus issues.
Gender issues.
Pop culture.
Oh, spring has sprung in Vancouver.
Can you handle it?
That's where I live now.
Yes, you do, honey.
ICMYI.
In case you missed what?
That's
You're ending the sentence with that. In case you missed it, I'm in Vancouver.
Yes, that's right. Now, Bryan, I heard a rumor that you were in Texas last week.
I was in Texas last week. I was actually supposed to be in New York this week, but then had to come back to LA. It's exhausting to even think about, honestly, because the flight was an hour and 35 minutes.
Oh,
so
God,
you can
how
imagine
did you
how tired.
manage?
And I had to cross one time zone, so you can imagine.
Was it Southwest?
Of course it was.
And did you get sucked out of a window?
I didn't, but you know I'm a hit on Southwest. Always a hit. The people who work at Southwest Airlines are every time I'm on it are devoted watchers of 911. They love it.
What?
So anytime I'm on Southwest Airlines.
So you're on Southwest and that's where your fans are.
I get star service. Even when I'm B38 like I was yesterday. I walk on and they say, would you like something to drink? I love your show.
You don't pay the extra $25 or whatever, no. $25 for early bird?
No. I don't. Well, by the way, because when I fly to El Paso and back, they have one nonstop flight a day. I'm always so afraid they're going to cancel it because usually I have the row to myself anytime I fly there.
Really?
Yeah. So even if you're B38, because I said I have a low boarding number. How many seats are open just so I can guess? And they go, there's 65 empty seats. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to upgrade. Great. Perfect. Love it.
So you upgrade at the airport based on?
No, I will do the early bird check. Now, for anyone who's not flying Southwest, you're missing everything.
Well, but have they done the seat thing yet?
Not yet. And they haven't done the pay for bags yet. So I got my checked luggage.
2 bags. Yeah. Okay.
So why am I so excited about this?
I don't know. You love Southwest, as do I. That's
it.
what I fly.
Do you? Oh, right. Of course. To New Mexico and back to LA. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't do a JetBlue.
But you know what? I stopped doing JetBlue too, because JetBlue used to fly to Newark. They now only fly to JFK from LA. I hate JFK. So now I do United, which is also not the best, but they fly to Newark. So
fly separate airlines while you can before it's just one airline. You must do it.
It's so true, Erin. It's so true. So anyway, I didn't upgrade my board. Listen, I sat in my seat. I had my Weight Watchers.
Who recognized popcorn. You this week?
One of the flight attendants.
And what'd she say?
Well, Erin, he said, I really love your show. And I said, oh, thank you so much. Can I get you something to drink? And I said, oh, no. You know, because what am I going to do? Drink alcohol at 12:55 p.m. on a Saturday? No.
Or the coffee that tastes like it was literally run over by a tractor trailer?
Can I give a airline hack? Apparently, you never, ever, ever drink coffee on a plane because they rarely dishwash that pot that it's in. So they're not washing it out from one flight to the next. They just every day pour more coffee into it.
When does it get washed?
It doesn't. I read it on the points guy. The one drink never to get on a flight is coffee.
Can you get hot water?
You can get hot water. But really, you just need to have, if you want caffeine, honestly, I hate to say it,
bring your own tea bag.
Yeah, or
go to Starbucks.
Right, or get a soda.
Oh, if you're stuck with the options at midair.
If you didn't bring anything with you and you're stuck with the options midair, listen, have a Diet Coke, put on Sleepless in Seattle, stare at the person sitting next to you, which could hurt your neck after a while, and have a blast.
Well, when Ollie was going home from Canada 2 weeks ago, he sat next to an evangelical woman and her husband.
Oh, I love this.
She started ripping into her husband like he was an idiot. And then Ollie was like, in his mind, he was like, disengage, do not get triangulated in these people's. An hour in, he starts watching The Righteous Gemstones. And I guess there's a scene in the new season where Walton Goggins is helicoptering his dick. And
what does that mean?
Like pants off, slapping his dick from thigh to thigh.
Hilarious.
And
that show really does make me laugh, I have to say.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan.
Yeah.
But I think this wasn't the scene to watch on the plane. But
no, it wasn't.
All I didn't know that it was about to be, it was like a new episode. So he didn't know he hadn't heard about it. So he's watching it and the evangelical woman goes, screaming on the plane. Ollie's like trying to
But it's a religious show.
That's what he should have said. That's what he should have said.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So she freaked out.
Ollie didn't know what to do. They still had like 2.5 hours on the flight.
Oh God.
The whole time. The most Canadian thing happened yesterday. I've never, this is so short, but
it can be long as hell. What do I care?
It was magical. So yesterday it was sunny, not today, but yesterday it was sunny. So everyone was out. They've all come out of the caves. And I have windows here that are like 2 doors, like French doors I can open.
I'll tell you, Erin, I've yet to really believe that. I really think you have Stockholm syndrome at this point, and he's told you those are windows, but it can't possibly be anything but another concrete wall.
Now I think actually this was a simulation because I opened the windows.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a car out front. No.
Balloons.
No.
The Zoom balloons
from this
flew in the air.
Why
from
this?
Erin making quote marks. And now confetti.
That's different. Okay, well, listen. Every day they come up with something. See, this is why I don't even think I'm real. I'm max headroom.
She could be.
So I open the windows in my simulation, and there's a car outside. The minute I open the windows, I hear it's all coming back to me now.
Canadian Queen.
Hearing Celine Dion when you open your windows for the first sunny day in Vancouver is the most Canadian thing that has ever happened to me in my life.
It's so true. It's so true. That really is like a parody of Canada. It's like a microdose of it.
It was a full sketch yesterday. And everyone was like, the trees, the flowers, and now everyone's in a bad mood again because it's fucking raining.
There is something about when spring starts sprunging in those early spring months and you get a day here, a day there. On the good days, everyone is so happy, so joyful, a literal spring in their step. You know what I mean? Slinkies are out. People are putting them off park benches and,
yes.
You know what I mean? Going back and forth in their hands with them and
the beauty of spring.
Putting a Slinky on someone's head and then seeing if they tip down, the Slinky drops all the way. So it's
getting 2 Slinkies and pretending they're your eyeballs. And when someone cute walks by, you make them fall out.
Exactly. Doing a Walter Goggins, but with Slinkies instead. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or sneezing and making the Slinky fall out of your nose.
That's funny.
Spring is just
having a long sleeve, but you have a Slinky inside and someone goes to shake your hand and out comes a Slinky.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it.
It just spring magic. There's just nothing like
going to a McDonald's drive-thru and getting the Minecraft Big Mac meal. And then when you order and they ask for your payment, you accidentally give them a Slinky.
That is so, absolute. Going to the bathroom and saying something is very wrong.
Oh,
and then you come out and you tell your wife to come in and look, and it's just a Slinky.
Yeah. Or you're in a public bathroom and you drop your pants, but then you just start slamming the Slinky around on the toilet seat and in the water. And the person next to you thinks, oh my God, something intense is going on over there.
You say, I can't hear you, and the Slinky falls from your ear. You know what I mean? Even though that doesn't really make sense.
You're a doctor working in an ER, and instead of hooking someone up to a cardiac arrest machine or like the defibrillator, you hook them up to 2 Slinkies.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or saying, do I need a boob job? And putting 2 Slinkies on each of your nipples and letting them drop. You know what I mean? Pretending
that you work at a full service gas station, and when someone in a Mercedes comes up to get gas, you connect the Slinky to the gas tank, but not the actual gas. And you make filler up. You just make the noise.
Yes. Just
see him drive away.
Spring to me is Slinkies and Dave Coulier jokes.
Taking a Hastings mattress, taking out all the horsehair and replacing it with Slinkies and then sending it to Drake's house.
Hilarious.
I love it.
Oh God, do I love it.
I love it. Bryan, what are you excited about this week besides the fact that everyone in America has woken up and been out in these streets?
I know, these hands-off protests, incredible. I was on a plane or I would have joined one. I was out ruining the friendly skies. But millions of people, I do feel like you're right, Erin. People are waking up. People are getting excited. And listen, I love a protest. I love going to a protest. I love reading about them. That's crazy.
I love making signs at them. You know we're good at signs. You heard our whole Slinky thing.
Of course we are. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Elon, you're not going to Slinky your way out of this one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was at, so I told you I was visiting my parents and I went to their gym.
Well, I told you were visiting your parents.
So you
told
didn't
me
I was visiting
up,
my parents, yeah. And I went to the gym a couple times, their gym, which is
with your dad because you have to come as the guest pass as the person. Does the person have to be there?
I could do the guest pass on my own these days.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they've updated the systems.
So you don't have to go with your grown father?
Right, exactly. So I went and I signed in, whatever. And people at the desk called me sir, which made me want to really rip my eyeballs out and eat them in front of them, but I didn't. Erin, this gym is 65 plus.
That's my gym in Santa Fe.
Everyone, though, in full makeup, hair, just leggings.
But barely working out?
Barely working out. I was doing deadlifts on one particular day, and I was working heavy because I was trying to get to a 2-rep max. Thank you for everyone for still sticking with the show. If you make noise or breathe heavy, they shoot daggers at you.
Because you're interrupting Fox News?
Yes. And then a trainer came up to me and said, "So sorry, man." And he was young and he goes, and first of all, when he said, "So sorry, man," I was like, oh, he's about to punch me. Like, this is not good. No one talks to me like that. Sir, and then man. He goes, "So sorry, man." And I was like, "Oh, that's okay. My money's right in that locker." And he goes, "There's like signs around saying not to make any noise." And there were.
At the gym. No, it says no noise.
Please be respectful. No heavy breathing or grunting.
It's the gym.
Right. And I'm not like a show-off grunter. Okay? But that is the name of my next show.
The gym.
It's the literal gym. But honey, no one was there to break a sweat. They're all there to get trained, but easily.
I don't like this genre of person. There was a guy crossing the street, and I was probably 35 feet away from him, but he was still crossing the street, and I've got traffic issues in front of my apartment here. And I went very slowly to go into the driveway, and he was like,
yeah,
I had 30 feet. I had 30 fucking feet. And I'm going to have to guess, and this is all 65 over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, everyone was really nervous, too, when I went in there.
Like that you were a young person, you were going to make some noise?
Right. It was crazy. I also taught my...
So someone tattled on you?
Yeah. My sweet aunt, who I love so much, okay?
The one I know?
No, different one. I went to go see 2 of my aunts on my way to the airport yesterday, and they're so sweet.
Oh, I know 2 of your aunts.
Yes.
I know one by marriage.
That's right. It was neither of those. Yeah. But you do. And she goes, "Bryan, can I ask you a question?" And I got nervous because I was like, oh God, like, what, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? She goes, can you teach me how to take a selfie? And I go,
that is the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
And I go, yeah, why? And she goes, I just, it's for like this thing. And I was like, okay, yeah. I didn't want to ask questions because she seemed to be a little bit. So I go, okay, yeah. So you hold your hand out like this with the phone, and I go and stretch it all the way and tilt it a little down, but you want it a little up. And she goes, so where your forefinger is at the same level as your forehead. And I was like, I guess. And I go, and she goes, but my problem is the angle always looks weird when I take the picture because I have to put my hand all the way to the photo thing. And I go, you don't. You can just go like this. And we took like 10 selfies. It was great.
And what was her reaction after she did them?
Thank you so much. I'll remember all those steps, and you've made it a lot easier. And I think I know what I'm doing. And I said, and also you have these gorgeous windows. You should stand in front of this natural light when you take one.
And she said, okay. And then do you think she's doing like a OnlyFans or something?
I don't. No, I don't. But
what's the percentage?
If she is, good for her.
Sex workers work. What's the percentage that she is doing an OnlyFans? Are you 100% positive?
Listen, I can't be 100% positive about anything, but I am in this case 100% positive.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you.
Because what I'm saying is that if it is an OnlyFans and it's quite successful, you deserve a percentage.
Oh, don't I know it?
Yeah.
Also, if she's going to do like if she plans on making like a feature film, I deserve a percentage of that too.
Oh, selfie tangerine. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think, it's not too late to go back and to circle
Should
back,
I serve
if you
her?
will.
Should I serve her? Do you know what I mean? Go there and plop some paperwork down on her desk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched Game of Thrones. It was fabulous.
Why on earth?
I didn't.
Oh. That's a single viewing show for me.
Oh, of course.
That's a show that you get through if you're a woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You're like, I survived it.
Yep.
Bryan, tell me what's going on behind the vault. Do we have stuff? We've got a vault episode 85 coming out.
Oh, and this one's the edge of your seat. This one sounds like. I self-diagnosed myself with bursitis.
By the way, vault episode 85, I think that makes us 30, 31.
Possibly.
Too young to have bursitis. Anyway, go ahead.
I thought I had bursitis and Erin has neck problems.
So
what an app.
What did we know?
What did we know,
June 2013. What on earth? Prime of my life.
Honestly, if I could go back and tell myself anything in when I was younger, it would be, you don't have bursitis.
Also, your life is not that hard right now. You dumb. You absolute idiot.
I never said it was.
No, I would say that to myself.
I know. Don't be so stressed out, dummy. Is what I would say to myself.
We have El DeBarge, deep in El DeBarge country.
Our first discussion of El DeBarge on this show.
Yes, and Who's Johnny with guest Karen Kilgariff.
Oh, I love her. We've got this new thing we're doing. It's Easter themed. I love Easter themed things.
Cadbury eggs.
The colors
Pippi
are
Longstocking.
hideous.
I don't know how Pippi Longstocking is Easter themed, but we're going to find out.
I think there was an Easter thing in one of those movies. I don't
Who
like her.
played
To me,
Pippi?
she's Cat in the Hat.
Was that Sarah?
No, Chalk. Maybe she did
No.
in one. No, not Sarah Chalk. She's Roseanne.
Who played
Polly?
Annie?
Sarah Polly.
Who played Annie in the 80s?
Like Arlene Wuornos or something. No, Eileen something.
From Sex and the City.
Oh, from Sex and the City?
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah Jessica Parker played her on Broadway. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And
Inger
Pippi was
Nelson.
played by none other than Inger Nielsen. By the way,
Remember
Sergio
the wire in her hair?
Yes. Sergio asked me if anyone ever calls me brother or chief. And yes, they do. And it's
In Texas?
Yeah, just period. It's a nightmare at the gym.
Oh, she's a Swedish accent.
And Annie was Eileen Quinn. You know, one of the people who played Annie was one time thrown off a boat. That literally is the only information I have.
Oh, okay, because I do need more context.
No, I know. Unfortunately, that's all I have.
Can I read this from the Inger Nielsen Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Okay. Since 2007, she's been appearing on German TV channel ZDF as the forensic pathologist Iwa in the TV series Der Kommissar und das Meer, which is the inspector in the sea. And then in 2009, she was a celebrity contestant on Kanga Sigur Jugelen.
My favorite. By the way, it's not easy to transition from a child star into an adult star. So
no, and it sounds like she did it.
She did it.
She did 1, 2, 3, 4 Pippi Longstockings. Pippi Longstocking, Pippi Goes on Board, Pippi in the South Seas, which sounds similar.
Yeah.
Pippi on the Run. So the last one is when she got into drugs and a bad scene.
Alice doesn't live. Pippi doesn't live here anymore. By the way, the worst dubbing in the world was when Pippi Longstocking was dubbed from Swedish into English. Oh, it's awful, Erin.
Awful. I think we're going to see some of this. Is that true, Sergio?
I think it was American, but I wasn't paying close attention to it.
That's okay.
The
American version is just as terrible. So
this is all going to be on Patreon, of course, as always. You can buy individual video episodes of this new thing we're doing and Dateline recaps, $3 each on there.
Yeah.
YouTube, you can also get the first act of our video episodes every week free. All you have to do is search Attitudes Pod.
Absolutely. And also our episodes on patreon.com/attitudes are always ad free. So you can,
that's right.
You can enjoy the ep in a little bit of a more relaxing way.
Should we get into some shoes?
Let's do it.
Well, I'm just going to warn you, I don't have a nice thing to talk about today.
Well, I do.
Because,
so get through Erin's and then you'll smile at mine.
Glean the info.
Yes.
Wipe your soul. Go right to Bryan.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So I want to talk about what's happening down in Georgia, where we all know the devil loves to get an Airbnb and take in Stone Mountain.
And the devil also likes to shut down the power there. The lights go out there, honey.
Always. And he loves to fiddle. And he's coming when you hear a strong fiddle.
And you better be at the train station by 11:59 p.m. because that midnight train, honey, goes right through Georgia.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of rules there.
And it's always on his mind.
Always on his mind.
Always on his mind.
Georgia's a very idiosyncratic state.
Well put.
Thank you.
Do you remember do you know the first time I saw Gone with the Wind was on an airplane with you?
I don't remember.
We were going on tour or something.
Oh, we were together and you were watching Gone with the Wind on an airplane.
And I was afraid to talk to you. I was afraid to talk to you about it because I was like, I should probably watch this movie. This is like, everyone loves this movie. And then
I don't know if everyone loves it.
Everyone loved this movie back in the day.
Oh, back in the day, maybe. Everyone white loved it.
This movie is so disgusting. I cannot believe there was ever a fucking time and place where people sat in this movie theater and went,
I guess it can be lauded for its innovation and its lushness and but it's sort of like, well, then just make a different movie with those things.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about 24-year-old woman Selina Maria Chandler, who has truly been put through hell the last 3 weeks. She was found bleeding and unconscious after a miscarriage. She didn't have anyone to help her. And she didn't understand what to do. So she put the fetus in the dumpster.
Jeez, Erin, we're really, we just walked off a cliff together.
Walked off a cliff. Non-viable, okay? So this is essentially like her body had a miscarriage because the fetus was non-viable, okay? Right. So she, not knowing what to do, then passed out, was bleeding, and emergency officials came to treat her, and then also so did the police. And she was arrested for abandonment of a dead body.
Sorry, where was this?
Georgia. Now, the reason that she was charged with abandonment of a dead body is this fucking personhood shit that's on the books in Georgia, that a fetus is a person and has the same rights as a person, which is part of the playbook of how you erase rights for reproductive rights. It's rule number 6, basically.
It's a full attack on women, for sure.
Mm-hmm. The Tift County, this was not in Atlanta. This was in some place called Tift, I think. But the county DA, Patrick Warren, dropped the charges last Friday after the outrage, not before.
Right.
He said, after thorough examination of the facts and the law, my office has determined that continuing prosecution, it's not legally sustainable and not in the interest of justice.
To prosecute someone who just had a miscarriage, you needed a loud voice to tell you that?
Yeah. He did say this case is heartbreaking and emotionally difficult for everyone involved, but our decision must be grounded in law. Yeah, I know. He said our decision must be grounded in law, not emotion or speculation. I don't know who he's talking to with not emotion or speculation, because there were people in Georgia saying good for you and wanted him to double down. And there were people in Georgia who were like, what the fuck? This is monstrous.
Right.
So I don't know who that's pointed to, but I do not love a person in a position like a DA saying our decision must be grounded in law, because the law fucking sucks. The law is the problem. Mm-hmm. And, we have to have people standing up for what's right, regardless of what the fucking laws say. I'm so tired of people being like, them's the rules. It's like,
I know, me too.
Yeah, but who made this shit?
Totally.
And to be clear, the only reason the charges were dropped, the only reason was because the 19-week fetus was expelled from the body because it was non-viable. It was naturally aborted. Had she taken a pill,
she'd be in prison.
She'd be in fucking prison, okay? And the only difference here is humanity, right? Making someone go through that. I have to imagine that the fetus didn't just become like non-viable like that morning, or maybe, I don't know, but like doesn't sound like a non-complicated pregnancy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And no one should be arrested after a medical emergency, especially a person experiencing pregnancy complications.
So messed up.
Full fucking stop. And it shows how utterly ill-equipped the police are in these situations. They don't understand the law. Because if the DA's like, there is no standing under the law, and the police are just like, we're going to arrest you anyway, because if we don't arrest you, we don't want any flack. Who do you have to call? If that's how the police operate, who do you have to call when you have a miscarriage in a state hostile to reproductive rights? Do you call the police, which you
Good question.
could fear? Do you call a medical professional? Do you call 911 knowing there's a possibility that something could happen to you, like Brittany Watts, who 2 years ago in Ohio was charged with abuse of a corpse after having a miscarriage at home, disposing of the remains in a bucket, and then being treated at a hospital where a nurse called the police and told them what happened.
That is so fucked. How about someone is in total trauma and survival mode when this thing that's never happened to her happens?
Yes. And her case, Brittany's case, went all the way to a grand jury in Ohio, who thankfully declined to indict her, but that doesn't erase all of the shit that she had to go to.
Aren't fucking monsters. They just happen to be elected.
Mm-hmm. But there was some phrase, I don't know what it was. It was like 2% of humanity's evil and 2% are absolutely pure intention, and the rest of us decide.
No. I'm not the rest of us. I'm in the latter category, the 2%.
Angels,
people who are pure. Yeah,
angels, heaven on earth.
People? Well, what were you saying about people like you? Sorry, I just had to. Correct.
We're constantly deciding what side of history we want to be on.
Got it.
But in the case of this nurse, the problem is they've made everyone fear for their fucking jobs. Like, yeah, that's what's working. If
or go to jail.
Yes.
Aiding and abetting. Who fucking knows?
You're a nurse and you hear someone say that this thing happened and you don't tell anybody because you're afraid, like, if someone found out that you knew that this woman had a miscarriage at home and had done something out of absolute trauma and panic with the remains, then, and you think you're going to lose your job. I mean, no one's in a good position here. So, but the person who's in the worst position is the person who's had the miscarriage, who has literally no one to turn to.
Mm-hmm.
Between the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the 1973 Roe v. Wade decision, so what was that, 73 to 2022?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do the math, but long time.
I can. 49 years.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There have been 1,800 cases of people who faced criminal charges due to pregnancy-related situations. 2% were tampering with a corpse. Expect that number to explode to infinity and beyond, to quote Dirk Diggler.
No, I don't think that's right. I think it's Dirk Diggler was from Boogie Nights, and I don't remember him saying
to infinity and beyond.
I'm pretty sure.
Isn't that
so close? Because I'm pretty sure it's Toy Story. So people make this mistake a lot.
I always get Toy Story and
Boogie Nights confused.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always.
One is a story about a porn star and one is a story about a toy.
But they both have heart and they both have songs. And roller skates,
in that they have music in that. I wonder if anyone.
Yeah, they
roller
both
skates
have a score.
I'm going to go ahead and say that someone has roller skated in Toy Story because they've made 4 of them. So at some point, a pair of roller skates had to have appeared.
Bound to have like hit a real roadblock with Story and had to do roller skates.
Yeah. Can you believe in Boogie Nights, they just let her skate in her classes in high school? She just skates in her classroom.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Heather.
It was
Graham?
the time. Heather Locklear.
Sure. She's another one. Person, I mean.
Another person.
Are you drinking wine? What the fuck is going on?
Baby, I'm Jesus. I wish I could turn this into wine.
What is that?
Still water from the Italian grocery store.
Erin, don't look at me like I'm crazy. That is a wine bottle, first of all.
I don't know how this is how the Italians do it. It's
all
called
right, I believe you.
Goccia di Benessere Naturale, which is how you say still water.
I know. Frizzante means.
How do you say it?
Frizzante.
Frizzante?
That means sparkling.
Oh, I say gassata.
I think it both work.
Anyway, I want to talk about one lady, 2 ladies actually. Okay. Senator Sally Harrell or Harrell. It's 2 R's, 2 L's. She's a Democrat. She called for the 6. You can really, there's no way to find out.
Nope.
She called for the 6-week abortion ban in the state to be overturned based on this case. She drew a straight line between this situation and the law. She said this case demonstrates the idiocy of fetal personhood. Gotta love her. It subjects women to either publication of their most private moments or the fearful hiding and shaming of their natural body processes. So she's a person to watch in Georgia if you're recommitting to your local elections, which everyone should be doing right now.
That's where it all happens, baby.
Might I also shine a light on to Maggie Goldman, who spoke at the rallies in Georgia, in Atlanta yesterday. She's running for District 1 County Commissioner in Georgia. Let me tell you how important county commissioner races are going to be.
Please.
If you don't know, they are in charge of elections.
Yes. Oh my gosh, of course.
Okay. They are often very powerful, sometimes more powerful than reps. In New Mexico, they are extremely powerful. They decide the rules for land use, budget, water usage. Anyway, I want you to pay attention to those races in the coming years. They're going to be as important as your state reps and your federal reps. It is time to hyper-focus on local politics. Starting 6 weeks ago. You are a horse going into a trailer for transport, and you need to have those things on.
I feel like you're hypnotizing me.
You are a horse.
Yeah.
A beautiful palomino.
Oh.
The wind wisps into your mane.
Yes.
But you get frightened from time to time. A broken branch, a bee, a bird, anything from the side.
Absolutely.
That's why we have to put blinders on you. Okay. So you can be focused, steadfast, and determined. Run free and wild. So that one day a group from England who's stolen their style from Black people can write songs about you. You wild horse.
Rolling Stones. Got it. Well, speaking of local politics really being the most important thing to watch, or where decisions could be made to block more powerful people from infiltrating with their mania, madness, selfishness, bigotry. Something nice really happened in California this week. In a total rebuke to President Trump and to California, our own governor, Gavin Newsom, California has upheld trans athletes' rights in schools. Upheld it after Republican lawmakers in California tried to reverse them and also create new legislation that would ban transgender girls.
And didn't they quote Gavin Newsom when they were doing it?
The Republicans quoted Gavin Newsom when they were doing it. So Democratic lawmakers in California, by the way, the Eureka state, which I don't think we talk about enough. I feel like we never talk about it.
That's the state slogan?
The motto is one word, Eureka, exclamation point.
Because of gold?
Eureka! Yes. Because of gold.
Okay.
The state motto. My motto, hair It's just one word with an exclamation point. My motto, fun. By the way.
Well, I mean, Texas only has two. The Lone Star State.
And the Friendly State.
That is so late. That's lazy as hell and lies.
I know.
Lies.
It's true. But when people say Eureka with exclamation point, I feel like it could be pissed or happy. Like, did Eureka do something wrong? Eureka! You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or Eureka! Do you say that when Ale finds your spot there? You understand?
Yeah, every time.
Finds your gold.
He finds the pot at the end of my rainbow.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, none of that was...
He has to sift through so much mud.
What?
Like a gold miner.
Got it.
A sifting pan.
Right.
Yeah.
Is the mud in this case hair? I'm trying to find what
It's all of it, baby.
That's not an answer. That's for sure not an answer.
If you know, you know.
What? You know what you're not going to do, Erin? You're not going to give me a look that says, told you, when you actually said nothing. That's what you're not going to do.
Well, hey, it's a free country for now. And I'm talking about Canada.
It's true. Okay, look. Democratic lawmakers rejected 2 proposals by Republican lawmakers on Tuesday. After hours and hours of debate, people losing their minds, screaming, raising their voices. The first bill was a proposal, so it would have been a new bill that would require California interscholastic. I can't believe I was going to say it right. I was going to say interscholastic, and then I got nervous that I was going to say it wrong, so I stopped. But the truth is, I had it inside me this whole time. That's
the end of your movie. That's the end of the movie about your life.
Oh my God. This changes your everything.
Biopic. Yeah.
Michael Feldman. Only he gets that joke. This aimed to require the California Interscholastic Federation, the CIF, which is the governing body that oversees high school sports in California. This proposal would have made it that, to ban transgender girls in girls' school sports teams.
Interscholastic?
California Interscholastic Federation.
Interscholastic? That sounds like science fiction, but they were the ones who wanted to ban trans athletes?
Correct. By the way, doesn't the phrase inter mean inclusive? They can go scratch.
Yes, it sure does.
Yeah.
What do they fucking care?
That was the first proposal. And the second bill was, so right now there's on the books since 2013, there was a California law that allows students to join school programs and things like sports teams and other activities that match their gender identity. The current law since 2013 also allows students to use bathrooms and other facilities that align with their gender identity. So all that's great. This new proposal introduced would have undone that entire law. So essentially, it would have made it to where you could not apply to or join school programs and activities that match your gender identity. And this proposal would have made it so that you couldn't use bathrooms or other facilities that align with your gender identity. It would have basically banned those things. And by the way, this is what's so fucked in addition to everything else.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If this governing body for high school sports,
the CIS, are you doing this on purpose so that I can keep really focusing hard to say California Interscholastic Federation? It seems like you're punking me.
It is purely coincidental, and I apologize. And I'll never. This will be the last time I do it. But you are doing such a good job that I do think highlighting
every brain cell is focused on that word when I say it.
Okay, if they just govern sports, how are they governing bathrooms?
They're not.
It would be like part of that.
There were 2 proposals. It's kind of confusing.
I see. Okay.
No, but it's totally fine because it confuses me.
One is sports, one is bathrooms.
The first is banning trans girls from playing on girls' sports teams. The second one would have made it to where trans girls couldn't join any school program, including sports teams.
Okay.
And also wouldn't allow them to use the bathroom that aligns with their gender identity.
I see.
And this would have applied to students, not just K through 9, not just K through 12, but K through senior year of college. The entire thing is so fucked. But both of those attempts, they both failed. Epic fail. All cancel. So this came right after Transgender Day of Visibility last week, and just a few weeks after Governor Newsom, who we know by now because I believe I've mentioned it before and I'm sure people have read about it, suggested on his podcast that he didn't think it was fair for transgender athletes to participate in girls' sports, which, by the way, that was no error because he doubled down on it with the LA Times asking him about it even later, some weeks later. And he was like, look, I've been struggling with this forever, tossing and turning every night, unable to walk, talk, speak, think, anything. I've been so struggling with this. And I'm so proud to say that after all of that thoughtful thoughting, I think making kids unhappy is the right way to go. So honestly, it didn't come to him lightly, Erin. Also, I want everyone to just show me the fucking receipts on this, and we've talked about it a bunch, but there are more than 49,000 trans youth aged 13 to 17 in California, according to an estimate, which I guess the UCLA School of Law did a lot of research on this. So there's 49,000 trans youth ages 13 to 17. There are maybe a couple high-profile stories of trans girls who play on sports teams, but the group's federal policy director, I'm talking about the UCLA School of Law, said there's no evidence that their participation is unfair or harmful. None.
But so here's my thing with this.
Yeah.
Who is it coming from? Because it's never coming from the students, correct?
No, never. It's coming from lawmakers, always. It's only motivated, as Alana goes on to say, by anti-transgender bias. That's it.
So if the people playing the sports don't give a fuck and they're like, yeah, these are my teammates.
Exactly. Because what people also don't know is once you're getting into organizations like the NCAA and other sports organizations for school athletes, they already have rules in place when it comes to hormones in girls' sports and, in men's sports too. But they already have rules that trans girls have already met when they start to compete. Okay? So they qualify. Not to mention trans girls are girls. That should be a huge takeaway. And when you're in fucking 5th grade, sports are about more than winning.
That's what I keep
It's about
wondering.
livelihood. It's about teamwork. It's about community. It's about belonging. It's about finding your niche.
But I think these people are like, if these girls, these cis girls, I'm trying to even parse it out because it doesn't make any sense to me because I'm like, how is capitalism in college sports somehow a factor in this? And I can't even figure that fucking out because women's sports doesn't even make any fucking money.
I think it's literally comes from, just pure evangelical bigotry and people making donations to Donald. I mean, he's sort of the mouth.
CIF.
I mean, Project 2025, I guess, is the mouthpiece for this. But yeah, I don't have to tell you, it's no shock that the last few years, trans people are the boogeyman of this world. Yeah. You know what I mean? Are the scapegoat of everything. When you don't have a policy that could actually help people, find one that would hurt people quicker and make them a monster. I mean, it's like the oldest playbook in the world. 24 states have laws on the books barring transgender women and girls from participating in certain women's or girls' sports competitions. Judges, by the way, because there's some more states who want to have those bans, like Arizona, Idaho, and Utah, but judges have temporarily blocked those things. And there are lawsuits going on right now in New Hampshire and West Virginia because students sued those states over those athlete bans so that they could be allowed to compete. But, last month, Donald Trump signed an order directly aimed at transgender athletes from participating in girls and women's sports. Some states, as we know, also impose bans on gender-affirming care. But here is what is exciting about this, is when you look at your state assembly people that you have elected, or your state Congress people that you have elected, look what those people can do when the president and the governor are not on your side on an issue. The president and the governor cannot touch the fact that Republican lawmakers tried to agree with the president and governor, but these local lawmakers who were Democrats said it's not happening. They stopped that crimson tide. So that red wave. So, trans girls are girls. They're not ruining sports in school. And they're playing by the same rules everybody else is. So shut up and go eat turkey. Right, Erin?
That's
Back
right, baby.
Here. Thank you.
Oh, wait, by the way, I wanted to mention this book earlier. Have you heard of this book, A Fever in the Heartland?
No.
Okay, so it's essentially the KKK's plot to take over America. And
Erin, I really ended on a positive note here.
No, this is what I'm talking. This is going to come back to you. Mm-hmm. One woman stopped their westward expansion.
Oh, really?
One woman. And it's supposed to be a really good book. Anyway, the reason I bring it up is because one person.
Yeah.
Like, be that one person.
Yep. There you go. We got some feedback from Patreon, like from Emily. She says, one time on the first day of an art history class in college, a girl's, quote, fun fact about herself during introductions was that her uncle was Thomas Kincaid.
I need more information.
Wow.
What art school?
Was she an artist? Did she have any?
Did anyone respond?
Did he paint a portrait of her?
Was she in any of the photos?
Carrie says, OMG, my grandma enrolled my sister and I in Pretty as a Picture, but ours was in a Dillard's. We were told we couldn't cross our legs until we were 21.
What does that mean?
Second of all, multiple department stores were having cotillions in their department stores. That's crazy.
I think it was like a driving school. It was like a thing, right? They were trying to get in on.
I went to Dillard's when I was home. I always have to go. It's my favorite store.
And did you buy Poison by Christian Dior?
I didn't, but I bought 2 shirts from my dad. One from a brand called Bugatti. Bugatchi.
Okay.
And the salesperson said it comes from Italy. It was on sale, though, for 35% off. And
because no one wears Italian shirts in El Paso?
Right. It's made in India. So I got him a Bugatti shirt.
From India.
There was an entire Bugatti section. Have you ever in your life heard of that brand?
Never in my entire life.
In my entire life. But he really
Bugatti is what I scream at people when I've been hiding behind a door and then I scare them.
Bugatti. That's good. That should be your new punk show. And Alora Honeythorn. Excuse me?
That name.
I love your name. Alora Honeythorn. Heels is my song of the summer. I'm so glad.
Paul said, this is regarding the Dateline recap last week. Paul said it's pronounced Yakima, not Yakima. Don't want Bryan to embarrass himself if he ever goes there on vacation.
Thanks for the tip, Paul.
And then there's a lot of people saying that they either like.
Oh,
Lawrence,
Erin, your thing went crazy with people. People were on your side 100% for this.
Lauren says I'm 5'1" and my partner's 6'2". I'm sorry, Erin. I want to climb a tree.
Fair enough. At least she acknowledges you're right. She's not trying to defend this.
But it's a thing. It's a straight up thing. And then Andrew S. as a tall gay man, I know all too well Erin's yearning to be breastfed by a dick.
Wow. Vince says, I can't wait to say breastfeed me with your dick to my partner and watch the reaction of horror/humor.
Wait, Sergio, people want breastfeed me with your dick on a needlepoint or pillow?
Yeah, it's the new catchphrase.
Jenny Couchman says, Bryan, isn't reverse Benjamin Button just like aging in the forwards direction like a human? Yes. I think
This is incredible. This lady attorney, Dr. Sam, sent us this.
Okay.
Lady attorney on Patreon, by the way, which anybody can be a lady attorney, and you get to go to you get to have a live episode with us every month with a Q&A. Dr. Sam knows this well. Need us to know about this book and the author Suzy Toronto. Would you like to read the title?
Name Suzy Toronto is almost as good as Alora Honeythorn. Not quite though. The title of this book that Dr. Sam recommended to us is Life is Short, By the Boots, and Other Wonderful Wacky Words of Wisdom.
Now, I do think you should read about the author. Now, I wanted to dislike this woman, but after reading this morning, I cannot.
I'll be honest, one look at her, I love her.
Okay,
I'm in.
Read. she's at an aquarium on this headshot. I don't know where she is. A pool.
About the author. So this is me. I'm a tad.
Wait, can you do it? Can you do it in her voice though? I think she's from Florida, but if you want to put some Southern aunt vibes on there.
So this is me. I'm a tad wacky and just shy of crazy. I'm 50-something and live in the sleepy village of Tangerine, Florida. Tangerine, Florida, with my husband Al and a big goofy dog named Lucy. And because life wasn't crazy enough, my 80-something-year-old parents live with us too. In my home, the nuts don't fall far from the tree. I eat far too much chocolate and I drink sparkling water by the gallon. I practice yoga. By the way, she thinks the About the Author is literally like what she does on a daily basis.
No, because I'm sure this is her only book.
I practice yoga, ride a little red scooter, and go to the beach every chance I get. I have 5 grown children and over a dozen grandkids who love me as much as I adore them. I teach them to dip their French fries in their chocolate shakes and to make up any old words to the tunes they like. But most of all, I teach them to never, ever color inside the lines. This is the wacky, wonderful life I lead, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Welcome to my world.
If this woman has not voted for Trump, I think... I adore her.
Me too.
If she's voted for Trump, I know what her dark side is.
Me too. Oh my God. I don't want to be there. I know what it is. I don't want to be there past 9 p.m. Yeah.
I don't want to see her in a Mexican restaurant when the guacamole comes out wrong.
No, me
because
neither.
It's fucking gloves off with these kind of ladies. Yeah, because
that wild, wonderful, wacky energy turns wary, warlock, witchy.
Okay, I found her Instagram.
Okay.
Let's see if we can figure out if she's a Trump supporter. Do you want me to share it with you?
Yes, she also, by the way, Erin, to prove you wrong, she did write another book called Boots Make Your Toes Feel Like They're in the Country. So are all her books boot themed? Oh my God.
I think so. Leprechaun poop.
Her first Instagram post is green jelly beans with a sign on them that says leprechaun.
Oh no, they're M&M. They're different color M&Ms.
Oh.
She loves a pink reflective sunglasses.
Looks nothing like her picture on About the Author.
Okay, I think this is a Tesla. Woman. Is that correct?
I'm going to say I think she's actually a Democrat.
Okay, and what do you mean? What do you think about that? What makes you think that?
Simply because I bet she got the Tesla before Elon was in Doge, and I would say that people used to drive Teslas were mostly liberal people.
Okay.
That's what making me... What is wrong with that book cover?
This one where they have no noses?
That one and the one above it that says she's a book called My Daughter, I Love You and I Believe in You.
I think this is a card. Oh no, it's a book.
She wrote a lot of
Why doesn't
These
anybody
just must be stream of consciousness.
Hardcover books are back in stock. Kindred Spirits Forever Wacky Friends.
Okay. Another one called Granddaughter, I Love You So Much.
That is some Sally.
What is that even?
What's her name here? Feed the Children.
She shared a Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, so I don't think she's
okay. You know what? You know what?
And she has immigrant daughter-in-law.
Okay, fantastic.
I feel like she's on the right side. I love her.
All right,
I love her. Period,
you know what?
End.
Now I would love to have this woman in my family. Thank you for getting down to the
proudly sporting I voted stickers. Let's see. Click on that one. Go up. I want to see what it says on the I voted stickers. It's not her, but do you see? Let's see. My sweet daughter who married my son posted this today. Her okay, we love her.
Okay, great.
We love her. Nice job, whatever your name is.
Suzy Toronto.
Suzy Toronto.
She is truly wacky. Yeah, and thank goodness she is on the right side of history. And by the way, her car is not a Tesla. It is a Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
I guess they all make those big sunroofs now.
Probably.
Okay. You know what?
I'm on board, Suzy Toronto.
I'm going to give her a follow. I'm giving her a follow.
I'm picking up my phone. The
first thing she says is, I love my life. It's a roller coaster of a ride full of fun, laughter, with ups and downs, inside out loops that make my head spin.
I just clicked on Suzy Toronto and it says followed by Gibblertron.
Would you like to see
following her? I just
what's suggested? This is going to fuck my algorithm up. First thing suggested for me under this Instagram.
The Red Hat Society.
Okay. Fabric Center.
Oh.
New Beginning Hypnosis. Addict's Mom.
Women of Light.
Women of Light. The Lisa Show.
The Lisa Show, honey.
Audrey Loves Paris.
Papa Osler. Parlor Game Fun.
Women's History and Resource Center. Okay, that's good.
Oh, we love her. We gotta go down to Tangerine. Follows? I don't know. No, it just says suggested. I don't know if she's necessarily following them.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Susie Tupperware. Perfect. Honey, she is it. Suzy Toronto, you are it. And I hope someone plays this for you.
I hope so. Maybe skip the thing when we were worried that you were a Trump supporter.
No, she'll be so happy when she'll be like, oh, because then she'll hear us live discovering that she's not.
Okay, but then I would not start with what the earlier part of this section was.
No, I wouldn't either. By the way, for anyone listening who plays this for her, you need to really make your own time codes and edit on this. We're not going to do it here.
Don't just send it over. It's going to be a disaster.
That's right. Well, Erin, should we see everyone on the Patreon?
See you on the Patreon.
Bye, everybody.